something completely off the radar. Brogan's and Roscommon yesterday, Cork Harbour today. The Santa Maria della Lucia, I think it's here until the 25th of May 2025, and it's a 55-meter long Spanish galleon. I was never any good at school, but I always had an interest in the Spanish Armada. Because being from the west of Ireland, we were always told that there was a bit of Spanish blood in us, and so on and so forth. That's it. I'm not going to stay talking into my phone here. There's people passing and they think I'm mad. But Cork Harbour, down along there, Henry Ford tractor factory, Ford car factory up until 1983 or 4. I think a lot of the Ford Cortina, if you see a Ford Cortina with some badge in the back of it, someone will tell us that's a Cork built Ford. We'll turn the camera and we'll give a look at this show. Guys, there's a massive queue. There's a queue all the way from there to there to get on it, and it's fairly packed, so I'm not going to get on it. I have a bus outside in CIT or MTU, whatever it's called now. But this is a replica of a 17th century Spanish galleon, as they would have called it. It's not a warship, even though there is a fine selection of cannons along the bottom of it there, if you can see them along there someplace. And this was more of a merchant trading ship. I looked it up there. It came into Cork. It's here until the 25th of May. If you are thinking about going to see it, I would strongly advise you can pre-book your ticket and you can kind of get a fast pass for it. I don't know, is there tours on it? I don't know, is it a free-for-all? I do not know, but I have an interest in it, and I think it possibly would well be worth going to see, only that queue is not moving and I don't have the time to give 2 or 3 hours here. But below in the background you can see the Tom Crean below there, the Arklow something is below that, and behind this building we have the Irish Navy ship, and also in front of that we have the new EU Fisheries Board, the new EU Fisheries ship that's patrolling the EU waters. And we're going to give a walk over and give a walk around, and I know it's not a tractor video, and the Sophie Louise, there's another one down further, but there's some savage history in Cork Harbour. I'm going to see, can I walk down as far as I can, and I don't think we'll get as far as where the Ford factory was, but we're going to see what we can do. Alright guys. Oh yeah, there's a massive history in Cork and a massive history in Kerry, which I only learned this morning. The Santa Maria della Rose is a Spanish sailing ship, very, very similar to this, 200 years older, that actually sunk behind in the west of Dingle in the Blasket Sound. And they often said there was up to 300 or 400, maybe 600 soldiers or warriors or soldiers, whatever, on these ships. And in 1588, when the Spanish decided they were going to attack the English, the Santa Maria della Rose sunk in the Blasket Sound, and there's another Santa Maria della Rose sunk outside in Cork Harbour. And I thought that was a bit of a story or whatever, but apparently the Spanish often named their ships the same names. They could be a slightly different looking ship, but they could have the same name. Alright, let's give a walk over and we'll get a bit closer to it. Often think what could have been with the Jenny Johnson, and for those of you that don't know, the Jenny Johnson was a replica famine ship that was built in Brunaville in West Kerry, going back about, I suppose at this stage it's probably 20 odd years ago. It did sail to Canada and it came back, and it was anchored in tied up in Fenit Pier for a long time after, and I think it's tied above now in Dublin, the Docklands in Dublin. Cost 14 million and will never again set sail. This ship has travelled the whole world. It's been in North America, it's been all over Europe, and making money for itself. And the Jenny Johnson, yeah, what could have been. That's it there, a bit closer. What do they call it? The Santa Maria della Lucia, I think, some name like that. It's a savage ship. She's 55 metres long. Here in Cork, like I said, until the 25th of May. Let's go around the corner. There's a lovely building here, whatever this building is. Looks like an old jail or something. Alright guys, the EU Fisheries boat coming to appear near you shortly. The idea of it, you obviously can get on this too, there's a lot of people on it over. The idea of it's going to inspect all the fishing boats and fishing in Irish and European waters. And now I have heard a lot of stories about it, and they're saying it's mostly manned by Spanish sailors. So yeah, that's the Irish Navy boat below. I don't know what name is on that, but we're going to walk down the far side over, but I figured we'd get a better view from here. And of course we have the Tom Crean down farther, the green one out the back. The Tom Crean is the Irish I suppose water exploration boat, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, there is a savage history here in Cork Harbour of everything really. Southern milling over. Down below, if you can see where that chimney is in the background, I think that's where the Ford complex was. They built a lot of Fordson tractors right up until I think around the mid-20s, and they concentrated on cars until I think the early 80s. And I know they're on about that, but they're giving out about Trump at the moment, and he's not I wouldn't be his biggest fan. But what happened, the reason the Ford tractors left Cork is the very same thing as what Trump is doing. The English imposed a big tariff on goods being imported into the country. So the Ford tractors eventually closed down here and they went to the UK. People have, I know it's 100 years ago, but people have a very, very short memory. The English did it to the Irish 100 years ago. Let's walk down the far side over. Guys, the blue ship, we discovered what that is. That is the Grania whale. She is owned by Irish Lights, who have their head office, I believe, in Howth, County Dublin. So we have the Tom Crean, the European fisheries boat, and the Grania whale, or the Grania whale. Grania, she is, they are the Irish Lights, and what they do is actually look after the lighthouses throughout Ireland, and lighthouse ships and lighthouse maintenance and all this kind of stuff. And down along we have the Arklow Guard, the green ship. The Arklow Guard is probably, well, it's from Arklow, County Wicklow, but the Arklow Guard, the Arklow ships themselves, they're probably one of Ireland's only shipping companies. I often see them in Limerick and Shannon and places like that. You can actually see a lot of them being launched and stuff off of different ports and stuff. They show them being launched. No, that's the Nate yoke. We gotta go on that, loading the hoppers, loading the trucks. I came down here before and I've often wondered about these buildings. There's one above there and there's Odlums written over the door, but you can only barely see it. And I passed down that crane and I never saw that inside the wall. We must give a look at that going up and see what it is. Sexton Haulage, Mallow, County Cork. Look at this, another crane. 7 metre cube buckets. Heck, I know Ford was here down Cork Harbour and they had a plan for years. The original Ford factory was supposed to be built way down in West Cork, and Henry Ford, as we know at this stage, he was a bit of a madman. Henry Ford had a plan that he was going to build a train line from West Cork to here into the Port of Cork, where he was going to export all his stuff. Actually, you see all the steel here. Dial Shipping Lever LHM10. I wonder, is this steel destined for Lever and Killarney? Because I know Christy Lucy I often meet him going up and down from Cork Port down towards Killarney with lorry loads of steel. So I wonder, is that where all this is destined for. I would mind some of that timber before they dump it. I'd finish off my shed. Okay guys, this is what I think is the old Ford factory yard site. It's completely demolished. I don't think there's anything of it left. I don't even know, was that part of it? I think it was. I think the chimneys were part of it. I was down here years ago. It must be 25 or 6 years ago since I was down here. Páirc Uí Chaoimh is only just over there a small bit. And I was into a place called Gold Crop. Some of you might know of Gold Crop. They do a lot of grass seeds and all that kind of stuff. And they had the most fantastic picture you could ever have seen up on the wall. It was an aerial shot of the Port of Cork and of the Ford tractor place. And a couple of years after, I asked them for a copy of the picture, and unfortunately they had moved offices, and they had no idea where the pictures went. They had about 15 or 20 pictures down a hallway, but hopefully they went into storage, and hopefully they didn't get dumped. So that's Páirc Uí Chaoimh over there. You can barely see it in the mist. And there's 4 tower cranes inside a site here. I presume it will all go for houses. There's planning up below there for housing development. So yeah, let's go back up to the Spanish galleon. Guys, that's it. I think it's the Galleon della Lucia, and then the Santa Maria della Rose is the one in Kerry. This is 200 years newer. So yeah, something a bit different today, something completely different. In a couple of hours here in Cork, I gotta get back to what I was doing, and yeah, if you can, give a like and subscribe. I have a bit of a bonus video here at the very end if you want to watch it. My brother trying to embarrass me. Dennis, you'll have to try a bit harder. Okay, cheers guys, thank you, bye now.
Morning folks, I'm here at Bateman's Farm in mid-Cork, and they're doing silage at the moment, and it's some outfit. They have unbelievable stuff altogether. I'm going to turn the camera there now and we'll have a quick look at what they're doing. Bateman's Farm, mid-Cork. Fine John Deere, and there's a silage trailer there now. So that's it from Bateman's Farm. I hope you enjoyed it. Give a like and subscribe, and we'll talk again next week. Good luck. Bye bye.